Hey guys, how's it going? Chris here with AC, and I'm back at Universal Studios Hollywood for another Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift update. When I was here 2 weeks ago, they were doing a pull-through over by the escalators, and I spent a lot of time over there, so I wanted to start things off over by the Frankenstein parking structure, give you a look at this end. They were putting up a lot of sound walls last time I was here, and I want to get a closer look at that. So we'll check out everything from over here, and then we'll go inside the park and see where they are with the pull-through, as well as a few other things. All right, let's go. And here's that sound wall I was talking about in the background. It's so tall that even up on this hill here, you can still see a really good portion of it. When I get down lower, if I get on the studio tour, we'll see how massive it is from down there. Oh yeah, this is what I'm talking about. The car has reached the top of the stall, dead center. That is incredible to see up there, just hanging. They are probably at lunch right now. Hopefully by the time I make my way inside the park, I can see them continuing with that pull through. But gosh, just look at this. So cool. Here we are now with a look at that sound wall I was talking about. And it looks like it's reached maximum height. Has all the cross braces in, just needs to get filled in. And then as I make my way down here, right across from the fire station, the wall dips down and it doesn't look like it's gonna go up any higher. I'm wondering if there's gonna be a tunnel for this launch section, and that's the reason why, well, hold on, they're actually bringing up another piece there. Let's watch that for a second. Really close to the studio tour as it goes by. But yeah, like I was saying, it looks like it's gonna be a dip, and some reason that they have a gap here. Because the columns that they have, those vertical columns, are solid all the way from top to bottom. So if it was gonna go up higher over here, you would have had a taller column. Obviously. They're not gonna attach more to that. Or maybe it'll have a window or something? Who knows? Down here, more has been worked on. And then as I make my way over towards the escalators, you can see that there's a lot more work to do with the sound wall. And here's another peek at the car is sitting up in the stall. Here's something for you LSM stator enthusiasts. Lots of those have been installed, and you can see where there's two launch sections here. The one coming off this brake run over here. Let's get a closer look at that as well. Gonna be really neat to see cars flying off that. And then coming down here, getting a boost up into this element here. And then coming back down and getting another launch going all the way up into that stall, and that is going to be 72 miles an hour. They announced that the top speed will be 72 miles per hour. I imagine that's going to be the point, going up into that stall. All right, time to check things out from up here. One of the coolest vantage points of the coaster, or of any coaster. There's guys back from lunch, but they're not doing anything with the pull through. Maybe I won't have luck with that today. Down here, just a minute ago, I saw some workers. I was watching them and I was waiting for them to do something. I'm hoping to be able to see some of the sound wall go in. And looking out in the distance, got a better look at that just a minute ago, so just gonna show that briefly. Now there are people working right there on the station where the maintenance bay is for the ride, and they are installing steel industrial roll-up doors There's a similar one that's down below. Also, looks like all the glass has gone in for the windows. That's nice to see. Let's take a closer look at the station as I walk over to the escalators. Oh, that is a shot of the stall. Oh my God, that is incredible. Nice surprise. I won't get any closer to that gate because you know what happens. Let's continue walking around and checking everything out here. I'm willing to bet that all the glass has been installed over here as well, or that they've at least done some of it since I was here last time. Yeah, all these little finishing details, really, really nice. Oh, I don't think there were lights on this side either. We had the lights at the top running along the side here, but I don't recall any being up on the front of the station here. Neato. Cool. Yeah, there's more glass in all those windows, and guys are working on all the glass down here. Coolness. You know, when I was driving in today, I was thinking about what I was going to cover, and I wasn't sure there was going to be too much other than the pull-through, which isn't even happening, but just look how cool that is. Can't wait to see that in operation, spinning. Anywho, they're working on the queue over here. Since 2 weeks ago when I was here, they've installed forms for concrete, also known as concrete forms. Sticking above there, we have metal poles. I'm guessing it'll be some sort of industrial looking metal fence that sticks out above the concrete. So yeah, here it is from the escalator area. Oh, they're working inside the little building there. That's part of the queue. And definitely just gonna be wide open. You're gonna get a lot of awesome views from in there. Something I missed in the last vlog that a viewer pointed out, the ladder that I always point out that is over here, was gone. And it's still gone. Now, I'm gonna get to Knott's Berry Farm tomorrow. Let's see if the cup of the station is gone as well. Every new angle I get of this coaster is just as exciting as the one before it. Seeing the car up there in the stall. Also, the work going on in the queue here, they're painting all that steel black. There's also lights that have been installed. So a lot of little things are starting to get done here, and it's really nice to see. Here comes a studio tour tram. I was gonna go on it, but it's approaching 2. I haven't had lunch, I'm pretty hungry, so I'll probably save it for another time. Anyway, you can see where they still have more sound wall to install, and maybe when I come back, that'll be up and there'll be more to show when I go on the tour. And then of course, another look at the car hanging there in the stall. So cool. Now, one, I guess, negative thing I will say, I try to keep this pretty positive, is how slow this pull-through is going. I did mention it, I guess, in the last vlog, but it's been 2 weeks. They were over there, and in those 2 weeks, they've only made it right there. And there's 4,100 feet of track. It feels like they've only done, I don't know, maybe a third at best, but it's getting there. They have until next year. Oh boy, they have dug out so much more since I was here. Look how much dirt is in just one scoop into that truck. They got them lined up. There's one's leaving. There's what? There's a 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 of them here. They are going to town. It's like, what? It's 2 scoops, maybe 3 scoops? Hosing everything down to keep down the dust. But yeah, look at this. I am very surprised by how much they've done in the 2 weeks. regarding this project. Okay, we're on the third scoop now. This is like, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? Except this one we know. Look, 3 scoops. Crane is just creeping along there. Creeping and squeaking. Just incredible how far they've dug down. I already said that, but geez. All the way down to the road, which I predicted. You can see the old retaining wall that's starting to be exposed now. And then it's gonna cut back right here and then cut back in that direction there. So this is gonna open up a really big area, long and narrow, but definitely could put something there. I don't know, maybe you can put a tram loading station and a queue, who knows? Might as well get a view of it as I come down the escalator. And I'm just gonna keep talking here because there's music playing and you know how that goes with YouTube and everything. But yeah, gosh. I'm guessing they're gonna go down all the way flush. It is possible though, they could be putting in another retaining wall so it'll step down from the bottom of this retaining wall. It can step down again and then go flush, but we'll see. Yeah, oh my gosh, they already have all the, it's like rebar that sticks out there so they can put concrete on. You know, I really gotta say, the engineering behind this wall is so impressive. You see how big it is, and you have this very heavy crane sitting on top of it. Of course, the very heavy dirt that it's holding back. I'm really looking forward to seeing what gets put here. And Universal likes to keep us in the dark like they did with Fast and Furious for the longest time. So it might be a while until we know what's gonna be here. And boom, just like that, more window panes have been installed since I was going the other direction. Nice work, guys. I'm gonna give you one final look along with a final thought before I head out of here. I've been wondering for some time how tall this stall element is. Like, what's the height difference between the top of that and the bottom of the launch here? Now, as I mentioned, it launches at 72 miles per hour, taking you all the way up this hillside into that stall. And I was thinking about comparisons at Magic Mountain. Full throttle, that loop is 160 feet tall, and it launches you at 70 miles per hour, so only 2 miles per hour less than this. So that tells me that this element from the launch to the top is roughly around 160, which is pretty darn impressive. Well, it was gonna be one final thought, and just as I was gonna walk away, I look over here and they're installing all the horizontal pieces for the sound wall. Let's take a quick look at that before I head out of the park. And that took no time at all. I'm just thinking about how much easier the process of building this sound wall is compared to building the track and the supports, getting all that together. A lot easier. That was like 20 seconds. They just plopped it in there. As I head back to my car, I just wanted to talk about all the changes here in CityWalk. Off to my right, there used to be a Billabong store. Well, all those California locations closed, including the one here at CityWalk. And now it's being used for Universal Mega Movie Summer. They have merch in there. And then further down, there is even more closures and some new stores coming, so let's look there. Coming up on Ben & Jerry's, which isn't new, but just a couple stores down, we have a new cookie store. So you can come here, get a nice warm cookie, and then head over to Ben & Jerry's and get some good ice cream, and then make a wonderful sandwich. And then coming down over here on the right, we have Slice House, a new pizza place, which is great. I always love just being able to grab a slice of pizza. I'm assuming that they'll be selling slices of pizza. And even more closures over here. There's actually a lot of closures in this hub. Off to the left here, there's an NBA store. that's coming soon. Long time ago, there used to be Carl Strauss up top. I've mentioned it before. And gosh, if it was still there, I'd probably be running up and grabbing a beer right now. I can use one. The newest closure over here, we had Johnny Rockets, and they've wasted no time removing all the signage. There used to be a giant burger up there. And now it used to be really busy. It's always been busy when I've come here, so I'm wondering what's up. And I'm wondering if this new security project on the other side of this wall here has anything to do with it. There used to be a Chinese restaurant over here, and now we're getting a Raising Cane's, which is super popular. Nice to see coming here. On the left, there's construction walls, which have been there for some time for the movie theater. Not sure what's going on. And super cool, Jurassic World Rebirth. The movie comes out today, or came out today, and they have this really awesome display outside the movie theater. Look at that, that is really, really cool. And then let's come down a little bit further and check out the site where the iFly was. Yeah, I can't see too much with all the construction walls. Still got the structure for the sign up there. Actually, on the other side here, let's spin around, they still have some of the signage. I'm surprised that hasn't been removed. And I think like one last thing over here is we have this new escape game, and that's about it. Okay. All right, guys, well, that's gonna do it from here at Universal Studios Hollywood. I wanna thank you very much for watching. Also, if you don't subscribe to the channel already, please consider subscribing. It does help me out a great deal. I'll be back here in the next week or so as the pull-through on Fast and Furious continues and to cover all the other work going on throughout the park. Until next time, take care. All right, bye now.